April 12th was Garifuna Survival Day. Yelumuti wachulera garinagu wagiaye. Aye garinagu wagiaye. Garinagu wagiaye. Yurume, we hear you rumbling with discontent, red-hot tears flowing, glowing, erupting into out of the unknown. Survival Day. Our Garinagu ancestors landed on a new coastline 224 years ago, sent from the places our cousins now flee, welcomed on the coastline like they had done centuries before, welcoming those who fled the man-made tyranny of enslavement. To reach Yurume, the land where African plus indigenous meant freedom. We see you, cousins. Your pain is our pain. Your survival is our survival. Your destiny is our destiny. Our coastline is your coastline.
Dear Diary, I wish life came with a manual so my steps wouldn't be displaced. A detector that screens out wickedness that boldly stares me in the face. A script for me to follow so my tongue won't be so sharp. A pill for me to swallow that eases the pain of a broken heart. Dear Diary, I wish I could be more accepting of the fact that life just isn't fair. That while some can take the elevator up, others have to take the stairs. I pray I may understand why people who complain of hardship sleep on crisp linen sheets, why their cries are much louder than those whose beds are shallowed pavement of the streets. Dear Diary, I wish each crossroad came with an arrow that points direct to the path of success, so that society can't place us in classes separating the failures from the rest. I wish I had a reset button so I can both learn and edit my mistakes, a two-sided mirror so I can clearly see all the damaging effects my actions make. Dear Diary, I wish an alarm bell would sound and deafen my hearing when the devil tries to whisper in my ear, so that his manipulative tactics can't be submerged in illusions but are made transparently clear. I wish I had a meter so I can both count and appreciate each remaining ounce of breath, be equipped with weapons so I may be prepared to fight off the angel of death. Dear Diary, I wish I have the will to accept that these wishes written can't ever come to pass, that this moment, as we're taking things for granted, another person is on their last. I pray that I continue to make a difference in any way I can, for I know that my wishes alone can't change things and it's all left in the Most High's hands. But Dear Diary.
So I'm going to be reading a short excerpt from the short story, Dear Editor, contained in Penguin, my most recent publication. Dear Editor is the story of an Quechua Mayan farmer and his wife whose great ambitions are to earn the title to the farmland, the government-owned farmland that they currently occupy, and to have children and to raise their children on this land. Unfortunately, they experience a pingering, an upheaval, which threatens both of these dreams. So I'll be reading two short excerpts from around the beginning and middle of the story, and I'll be skipping over a few parts. By the time he pauses for breakfast, the sun is well along on its swift trek inland. Leaning against a stout enough tree, Valentino gazes upward into its shady branches as he eats a portion of the tortillas with beans and pepper from his food container. He chuckles to himself as he remembers one of the stories his grandfather used to tell about the gods who sit in the branches of the Inup, watching the human activities below. To Valentino, they are merely entertaining stories, silly old-fashioned beliefs, like praying to the mountains before going to hunt in the forest, which some of the men in the village still do. Yet, as he bites into a second tortilla and looks around his farm, Valentino relishes the thought that the gods are looking down on him, smiling. The hospital grounds are desolate and poorly lit. Only a couple of the light bulbs on the upper and lower verandas of the narrow two-story building are on. Inside the maternity ward, Valentino leads Selene to a chair at the nurse's station which at the moment is unattended. With Lily still asleep on his shoulder, he goes in search of a nurse, his rubber boots thumping as he walks down the corridor. Valentina returns a moment later, followed by a middle-aged Creole nurse who appears to be in no hurry. Taking a seat in the chair across from Selene, the nurse asks, "When the pain starts?" Speaking more loudly than is necessary and looking at neither Selene nor Valentina. "About 2 hours ago, around 8 o'clock, Selene says. "You have the clinic card?" Valentina reaches into the bag and holds out the card with Selene's prenatal record. "Put it there," the nurse says, pointing her chin at the table, still making no eye contact. Valentina's jaw tightens as he places the card on the table. On most other occasions, when he, like many other Mayas from the villages, experienced this kind of treatment when they came to town people speaking to them as if they were children or acting as if they weren't there, Valentina didn't always bear the indignity in silence. But this time, he takes a slow, deep breath and manages to quell the flood water roaring in his chest. The nurse finishes the paperwork and points Selene toward one of the beds. The white sheet, the letters PGH written with black permanent marker on the hems, is thin and worn, but clean. Valentina helps Selene get settled and prepares to return home. He stops at the nurse's station on the way out. He hesitates, and the nurse finally looks directly at him. "We have 2 nurses on shift tonight, sir, plus the doctor is on call. Your wife will be all right." Lily stirs on Valentina's shoulder. As he exits the ward, he takes one last look at Selene, who has both hands pressed hard against the back of her waist as she paces the floor beside her bed. She is the only patient in the maternity ward tonight. Selene recognizes the pressure at the base of her pelvis, like an urgent need to stool. The baby is coming, but no nurse is anywhere in sight. Selene screams for help. No one comes. She screams and screams until her throat becomes raw. Still, no one comes. That's the end of this short excerpt. Thank you very much.